I've been thinking a lot about how often people say they want honesty. They say they want communication, transparency, and authenticity. The just tell me the truth energy. But I don't think most people actually want truth. I think most people want comfort. And there's a difference, because honesty sounds beautiful until it challenges the version of reality that someone has built to protect themselves. Real honesty changes things. It forces accountability, it creates discomfort, it exposes inconsistencies. It makes people confront themselves. And really, a lot of people aren't prepared for that. I think this shows up everywhere now. In relationships, friendships, family, relationships, and even online. People praise honesty, as long as that honesty validates them. But the moment honesty introduces friction, people shut down. They withdraw, deflect, and get defensive. Call someone negative or too much. Not because the truth is wrong, but because it disrupted comfort. And I think a lot of us have experienced this without even realizing. You try to communicate clearly with someone, not to attack them, not to hurt them, but just to be honest. And suddenly, the conversation becomes about your delivery, your tone, your timing, or anything but the issue that's actually being discussed. Because sometimes people don't want resolution. They want emotional stability without accountability. And honestly, I do not understand why. Yeah, truth can be threatening, especially if someone has spent years building an identity around avoiding discomfort. Because real honesty doesn't ask, what did they do? It asks, why did this dynamic exist in the first place? And that question can unravel a lot. I also think social media has made this worse. We live in a culture now where people curate identities instead of building them. People learn language about healing without actually healing. They learn therapy terms, boundary language, self-awareness phrases. But sometimes those things get used to avoid discomfort instead of move through it. And that's dangerous, because avoidance can look very wise now. You can ghost someone and call it protecting your peace. You can avoid accountability and call it self-care. You can refuse difficult conversations and call it boundaries. And I'm not saying boundaries aren't real. They're fucking for real. But there's a difference between protecting yourself and protecting your comfort from growth. I think real honesty requires emotional maturity, not perfection. Maturity. Because mature people understand that sometimes discomfort is necessary for connection, for healing, for growth, for intimacy, for self-awareness. And honestly, some of the most life-changing moments happen when someone tells us something that we don't necessarily want to hear, but needed to. And I think that's why so many people feel disconnected now, because connection requires honesty. Not performance, not image management, not curated personalities. Honesty. And honesty, it's vulnerable. It risks rejection, misunderstanding, and conflict. But without it, relationships become performance instead of connections. I learned that people who genuinely value honesty don't only appreciate truth when it feels good. They appreciate it because it's real, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it challenges them, even when it asks them to grow. And maybe that's the real question we should be asking ourselves. Do we actually want honesty? Or do we just want reassurance? Because those are not the same thing. And I think learning the difference might change the way we connect with people completely. If this resonated with you, you're not alone. This is the Introverted Coach, guiding you home. Stay golden, and I'll see you in the next one.